Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to this episode of Nightcap, where I talk about a couple of the big stories that have happened in the gaming industry this week, while playing a casual game and having a delicious nightcap. Now, the game in the background is Game Dev Tycoon, which I'm having a lot of fun with. This particular session is my 5th playthrough of the game. I keep bankrupting companies. I'm apparently not very business-minded, but nonetheless, I'm having a lot of fun. And the nightcap for this evening is a Running with Scissors Cabernet. Now, I got this wine purely because I think the name is hilarious and wanted to give it a go. And we'll be giving a more in-depth look at that wine in my Lee's play of Borderlands 2 this week, so if you want to learn a bit more, please do check that video out. And so, of course, we come to the news. And I'm playing this game mainly because of a news story this week that is going to be our first one here today, which is that pirating Game Dev Tycoon dooms your pirated copy basically to be ruined by piracy. I love this. I heard about this game and saw it a little while ago, thought it was interesting, but perhaps not quite up my alley, so I didn't buy it for myself. But then when I saw this article, I had to go and buy it basically to say, well done to the developers. I absolutely love this. It made me chuckle quite a bit. Essentially, what happened is that on release day, the developers themselves uploaded a cracked copy of the game to the most popular torrent sites on the web. And it is a completely full game, identical to the paid version, with one key difference. A small bit of code in there that eventually will make it so that your company in-game slowly goes bankrupt due to piracy. You get things pop up, or messages rather, pop up on screen, just like every other message in the game, saying that basically, oh, a lot of people are pirating the game. If they keep doing it, we're not going to make enough money. Essentially, I, of course, haven't seen the pop-ups myself, as I did pay for this game. But a lot of people have. And it amuses me. They are essentially offering these pirates a free game, but in turn, basically showing them why they're pretty much douches for doing so. It is even more hilarious because a lot of these pirates have gone to forums all over the web, including the official forums for the game, asking why their companies keep going bankrupt from piracy, that it's unfair, that they just can't go forward in the game. Some people even asking if there is a way in-game to research DRM. Wow, just wow, people. You pirate the game and then ask if there's a way for you to stop the pirates in the game by researching the DRM, which is the reason all of you claim that you pirate your games because of. But this is a small developer. They don't really have a huge budget for things. They release the game with a free demo. Purchasing it is only $8, and it is DRM free. You have absolutely no reason to pirate this game besides you're just an ass. These people worked hard to make a game, and if you want to play it, buy it. I mean, come on, it's $8. And to pirate a game like this and then have the game punish you by basically ruining your company through piracy, don't complain about it. You brought it upon yourself. The really sad thing, though, is that they've been able to track the numbers, and of the day one sales, only six, or not day one sales, but day one gameplay, only 6.4% of people playing actually bought it legitimately, which is just sad, people. I mean, come on. It's a DRM-free game with a free demo so that you can go and check it out yourself to see if you like the game. Just buy it. And I absolutely love the quote from one of the developers. I mean, this is a two-man team making this game. They're trying to make a company, and I just absolutely love this quote from them that they said, well, more specifically, Klug said, or Patrick Klug of Greenheart Games, was quoted saying, "If years down the track you wonder why there are no games like this anymore, and all you get to play is pay-to-play and social games designed to suck money out of your pockets, then the reason will stare back at you in the mirror." I absolutely love that quote, and it is so very true. This story both amused me because of the pirates asking how they can stop pirating in the game, but also saddened me because of that exact quote and that 6.4% number I gave you earlier. It's depressing. It really is. Again, they are two guys trying to make a game company, and they make the game for Mac, Linux, and Windows. $8. Just go and buy it. It's fun. It's really fun. As I said, I wasn't originally intending on purchasing the game because it looked fun, but not quite up my alley. And then when I saw this, I had to support these developers because that was just wonderful what they did. And I had to buy the game, and I am pleasantly surprised at how much I am enjoying it. It is really, really good. And as I said, I just am awful at it. Bankrupted 4 companies already. I've got great ideas and grandiose plans, but absolutely no business acumen. Oh, that's depressing in and of itself. That is enough of that one, but please do go download the game. It is good, and support these devs for the wonderful, wonderful thing that they have done to try and shed some light on piracy. Okay, so to our second bit of news, and that a class action suit has been laid against SEGA and Gearbox for Colonial Marines because it was falsely advertised. This is an interesting take, and even though I'm not a huge fan of lawsuits for things like this, I tend to think of them as somewhat frivolous, but I do like that this is happening, because unfortunately so many developers these days, and publishers alike, get away with so much by promising the sky and delivering nothing but dirt. And I really do hope that this class action suit for false advertising does sort of give them the kick in the pants that I personally believe that these developers need. But a bit about the lawsuit. The lawsuit is being brought up by Edelson LLC against, once again, SEGA and Gearbox on behalf of Damien Perrin, who is alleging that Aliens Colonial Marines was falsely advertising by showing demos which bore very little to no resemblance of the final product, and that the suit argues that because of the press embargo that was only lifted on release day, people who were early adopters or pre-orderers of the game had no idea that basically the game was not what they were told it was to be, and that each of these actual gameplay demonstrations, quote unquote, was supposedly to show that the consumer was getting exactly this, but that they were in no way, shape, or form that in the end. Now, SEGA has basically commented that they cannot comment on specifics of an ongoing litigation, but that they will defend it vigorously and that it is without merit. And Gearbox has stated that attempting a class action suit is beyond meritless, and that they continue to support the game, which is kind of a lie there in itself, and will defend, as they put it, the rights of entertainers to share their works in progress without fear of frivolous litigation. I'm sorry, but what you showed was not a work in progress. You advertised it as a vertical slice of gameplay, things to expect in the game, and it was nothing like that at all. And it's just, again, kind of sad and enraging. Again, these are companies that have said one thing and given us another. I once again bring my example of promising us the sky, but giving us dirt, which was exactly what this case is about. And Perrin himself has said that, well, the lawsuit may not go as far as he would like, but that if companies like SEGA and Gearbox promise their customers one thing, they should deliver it, and that they should be held accountable for that decision not to, which I completely agree with. And Edelson LLC taking on this case, I think, is quite interesting. I'm pretty sure that this lawsuit is going to end up going nowhere. I mean, I can't imagine any major court siding on the behalf of Perrin in this, but nonetheless, I do believe it may give those companies the kick in the pants that they need to stop over-exaggerating, over-promising, and showing us complete lies. It is a problem that the industry is having at the moment, and it's something that needs to go away. If it doesn't, these developers and publishers are going to kill their own industry, because people are just going to start to walk away from these guys, and potentially cause the pirating issue to get even worse. So coming around full circle there. So I do hope that something comes out of this lawsuit, even if the whole class action suit doesn't go through. I do hope that it sheds some light on some of these practices in the industry, and hopefully Gearbox and SEGA don't do something like this again, but who knows, they probably will. And alright, to the final bit of the news, and unfortunately an even more depressing story. Once again, I have to tell you about our hobby, our passion of gaming, being under attack for a violent crime that has nothing to do with gaming, but rather just a disturbed individual who acted as he would have in any other circumstance. And if gaming was even a minor trigger, it would have been anything else: music, television, books. It always seems like every generation they have to blame something, and unfortunately it comes down to gaming now. But the specifics, I'm being vague because it, as I said, depresses me, but the specifics is a 13-year-old boy attacked a 14-year-old acquaintance in Scotland, slashing at his throat over an argument, basically. The article says that the pair first ran into each other online in 2011 while playing Gears of War 3, and then met in real life sometime after that. And that apparently about a month prior to the attack, the two young men had a falling out, amounting to name-calling via in-game messages and so forth. But unfortunately, it escalated to a point that it shouldn't have, and as I said, the 13-year-old boy attacked the 14-year-old. Now, thankfully, the boy did survive. He had surgery and is doing well so far. The 13-year-old is just disturbed, and this has nothing to do with video games, but of course, the reporting officer was of the opinion, as the quote here in the article says, that violent video games played online by the accused may have been a factor, and that the chairman of the Scottish Police Federation weighed in at saying that these games are rated 18 and shouldn't be played by children. And that I can agree with him. He then went on to say that, but online gaming may be outside their parents' knowledge, and we need to look at, again, what we can do to stop this. Oh, God, the nanny state. I'm sorry, but it is the parents' responsibility. Raise your kids right, people. Raise your kids right. Now, a Microsoft rep did weigh in on the matter, expressing sympathy for the victims, but then going on to say that the 360 has a system set in to limit the access of inappropriate content, and that they have robust parental control systems, but that the parents actually have to be involved for it to work, and that the parents should be inputting and monitoring what their children do on their 360, which, yeah, they should. I'm sorry, but this whole thing, of course, as I said, happened in Scotland. Now, I lived over in England for a while, and I know that game stores there are quite strict, at least the ones I always went to, about checking someone's age for a mature rated game, because they can get fined quite a bit of money for selling to a minor without a parent present. So the parent should have been involved. They were most likely there at the store, let their kid buy the game with them, and then did nothing to actually parent them afterwards. And unfortunately, the chairman of the Scottish Police Federation once again basically responded that he doesn't think that those systems are an effective approach to take. So what more can you do? As I said, the stores there are quite rigorous about checking for identification, or at least they are supposed to be. As I said, there are quite substantial fines for that, and the parent has to be involved for those purchases, and they should, of course, with that, know what their kid is playing. And again, be an involved parent. That's your job. Don't just let your kid run wild with whatever game you want. Now, once more, the game had nothing to do with this. This is just a disturbed individual who people should have seen signs from this, and he should have been given the proper care. And unfortunately, that did not happen, but blaming video games for it is not going to help the situation or help prevent future incidents like this. You need to go to the real root causes, not just look at superficial bandages that you hope to put on things just to tell people that you did something. Again, every generation has their form of media that gets attacked. Hell, books were attacked when they were first printed. Radio was attacked, TV was attacked, movies was attacked, music was attacked, now it is video games, and whatever next form of media comes around, it will be attacked too, I am sure. But it is unfortunate that people are blaming video games for things like this when they should be looking at the real causes and what the real problems are. Okay, that's my rant done. And that is me again for this episode. I hope you did enjoy. If you want to get a little happiness after this somewhat depressing final 2 bits of the show, please do go and check out Dev Tycoon. It is wonderful. It is fun. Don't pirate it, because if you do, you're a horrible, horrible human being. Just spend the $8. And yeah, again, I hope you did enjoy and that you come back for the next, and have a good one.